Okay, so let's have example number 3. Use the cylindrical shell method to find the volume of the solid generated by revolving the area bounded by y equal to sine x, y equal to cosine x, and x equal to pi over 2 about the y-axis. So, yung axis of rotation natin is here sa y-axis natin. Now, for our y equal to sine x, y equal to cosine x, and x equal to pi over 2. So, radians tayo since meron tayong pi over 2 dito. So, for example, this is 0. This is pi over 2. This is pi. This is 3 pi over 2. Okay. So, to bounded din siya dito sa ating pi over 2. Ayan. So, assuming na pi over 2 siya. Okay. So, y equal to sine x, yung POI natin, y equal to sine x, and y equal to cosine x. So, sine x is equal to cosine x. So, cross-multiply natin. Sin x over cosine x is equal to 1. Sin x over cosine x, trigonometric identities, that is equal to tangent x equal to 1. Now, solving for x, that is equal to arctan of 1, and that is equal to pi over 4. Okay? So, that is equal to pi over 4. Now, if x is equal to pi over 4, what is y? That is equal to square root of 2 over 2 or 0.7. Okay? So, for this one, since sin x tayo, ibig sabihin, sine wave yung ating graph. So, this is pi over 4. Okay. So, this is pi over 4. So, doon sila magmi-meet. Dito sa ating pi over 4 and y equal to square root of 2 over 2. So, square root of 2 over 2 natin. For example, this is our 1. Ibig sabihin, nandito yung ating point of intersection. Okay? So, sine wave natin will look like this one. Okay. Napakahirap gumawa ng sine wave. Okay, so it would definitely look like that. Oh my goodness. Okay. So, parang ganyan yung sine wave natin or ganyan yung sine wave natin. And for cosine naman, this is cosine. For sine wave, we have this. Okay. So, ito ngayon yung sine wave natin. So, this is sine x. This is cosine x. Okay? So, yung sine wave natin is starts from the origin. Yung cosine x natin is starts from somewhere sa y-axis. Okay. So, ito yung point of intersection nila and this is x equal to pi over 2. So, this is the area na kukunin natin or i-revolve natin sa y-axis to get its volume. Since y-axis is our axis of rotation, we are going to have a vertical strip. Okay, so dx tayo. So, our limit is, what is our limit? So, yung limit natin is c, pi over 4 and pi over 2. So, yun yung x values natin. Now, what is our r? Okay, so yung r natin is this one. Okay, so wala tayong kailangang i-add or i-subtract. And then, our h will be y upper. Ano yung y upper natin? Si sine x. Minus y lower natin is si cosine x. Okay? So, let's proceed to integration. So, v is equal to 2 pi times the integral of our r, which is equal to x. So, x times sine x minus cosine x dx limits from pi over 4 to pi over 2. Take note, dapat naka-radians yung calculator ninyo. So, v is equal to 2 pi times the integral of x sine x minus x cosine x dx limits from pi over 4 to pi over 2. If you take a look at this, we have two functions here na naka-multiply. So, yung gagawin natin is si IBP. So, separately, we have at the integral of x sine x dx. So, let u be equal to x, or let u be equal to x, du be equal to dx, and then we have dv equal to sine x dx, and v is equal to cosine x or negative cosine x. So, the integral, kunin natin integral of sine x, that is equal to negative cosine x. So, this is equal to u natin is x times negative cosine x minus the integral of negative cosine x dx. So, this is equal to negative x cosine x plus, what is the integral of cosine x? That is positive sine x. So, ito na ngayon yung integration ng ating first term. Now, for the second term, the integral of x cosine x dx. So, let u be equal to x, du be equal to dx, dv is equal to cosine x dx, then integrate natin. Therefore, si v is equal to positive sine x. So, this is equal to x sine x minus the integral of sine x dx. And this is equal to x sine x. What is the integral of sine x dx? That is equal to negative cosine x. So, negative times negative, that is positive cosine x. So, we now have the two integration of each term. So, next slide, v is equal to 2 pi times, that is equal to negative x cosine x plus sine x minus x sine x plus cosine x limits from pi over 4 to pi over 2. So, let's try to combine like terms if meron. Okay? Or, distribute na lang natin si negative. So, v is equal to 2 pi multiplied by negative x cosine x plus sine x minus x sine x minus cosine x. Of course, limits from, oh, sorry. Okay, so, limits from, meron pi over 4 dito. Pi over 4 to pi over 2. Okay? So, plug na natin yung ating limits. So, v natin is equal to 2 pi multiplied by negative pi over 2 cosine pi over 2 plus sine pi over 2 minus pi over 2 sine pi over 2 minus cosine pi over 2. So, yan yung upper limit natin. Minus our lower limit, that is negative pi over 4 cosine pi over 4 plus sine pi over 4 minus pi over 4 sine pi over 4 minus cosine pi over 4. Okay. So, yung cosine pi over 2 natin is equal to 0. Okay, take note, dapat naka-radians yung calculator ninyo, ah. Sin pi over 2 is equal to 1. Sin pi over 2 is equal to 1, and then cosine pi over 2 is equal to 0. Now, for cosine pi over 4, that is equal to, sige, dito na lang sa baba. V is equal to 2 pi times, since this is 0, we can cancel that out, and then 1, usin natin. This is equal to 1. And then, since this is 1, minus pi over 2. And then, this is equal to 0. So, we can just not write it. Tapos, minus negative pi over 4. Cosine pi over 4 is equal to square root of 2 all over 2. And then, sine pi over 4 is square root of 2 over 2. And then, minus pi over 4 times square root of 2 over 2. And then, minus square root of 2 over 2. So, simplify natin. This is equal to 2 pi. And then, 1 minus pi over 2, that is equal to 2 minus pi over 2. So, pinagsama lang natin. And then, minus, dito naman, we have negative square root of 2 pi all over 8. And then, plus square root of 2 over 2 minus square root of 2 pi over 8. And then, minus square root of 2 over 2. So, distribute natin si negative. Our V will be equal to 2 minus pi over 2 plus, okay, so pagsamahin na natin to since parehas lang naman sila. Okay? So, that is equal to 2 negative plus negative, that is equal to negative. And then, times negative, that is equal to positive. Okay, so positive 2 over 8, that is 1 over 4. So, square root of 2 pi over 4. And then, we can cancel this one. Okay, so we will be left with that. Okay, so if we are going to calculate for the value of volume for problem number 3, our volume is equal to 3.39 cubic units. So that is example number 3 under cylindrical shell method.